When you click on a link to a website that doesn't require authentication, things are really simple. Click on a link and it takes you through. That's all there is to it. However, because electronic resources that you subscribe to often require authentication, things can be a bit more complicated for users when they're using Shibboleth. If, for example, I was a student and I tried to go to Film and Sound Online, one of the resources that institutions often subscribe to, it asked me to log in via the UK Federation, so I'll click on that. And then it wants me to select my home organisation and gives me a long drop-down box with every institution that's part of the UK Federation. So from here I need to choose my institution and then click select. So that screen that wants to know your institution is asking where are you from, and that's where the term WAYF comes from. So now I'm going to attempt to go to a resource, eBooks for FE, and here I am on the WAYF screen, where are you from, and I can select an institution that I'm a member of, in this case the JISC Executive. I select that, asks me for my login and password. I'm using my own computer at home, so those are already saved, and then it should take me straight through to the eBooks for FE collection, and it has done. So the usual process is that the user clicks on a link on a website, then they get asked where are you from, so they select their institution, then they are asked to authenticate, so they have to enter their login and password for that institution to prove that they really are from there, and finally they get access to the resource itself after going through those processes. So finally, onto the phrase WAYFless URL. All this means is that it's a specially constructed hyperlink which includes details of what institution a user is from. So when they click on that link, they don't get asked where are you from. That step disappears completely. Instead, all they have to do is then type in their login and password, they authenticate, and then they get access to the resource. So it's a way of simplifying things for the end user by creating a special type of hyperlink. So a WAYFless URL is just a specially constructed link to a resource that uses Shibboleth or Federated Access Management for authentication. The reason for doing it is because it saves a user from having to select their institution before logging into a resource. Okay, so you've decided that you're going to create some WAYFless links from the institutional Moodle or the library portal or the library catalogue so that users get to cut out one of the steps involved in gaining access to the resources. So how do you go about creating WAYFless URLs and what help is available? Okay, there's a few useful websites I'm going to point you to. The first one is the UK Access Management Federation web pages, because for every resource that enables you to create WAYFless URLs, you can click on the link next to the name of the resource and it will then give you some guidance on creating them or point you to another place. This is a really good place to start. Another good resource is a video that was created by a colleague of mine, Chrissy Turkington, at Regional Support Centre Northwest. You can download it from here, and it's really worth watching for further guidance on creating WAYFless URLs. There's also a wiki created by Simon McLeish. This has a lot more technical information, but it's really useful once you feel that you're ready to tackle the next step, and I'd recommend having a look through this. Finally, there is the RSC Wales Delicious account, and as with many subjects, we have a tag for this as well, for Federated Access Management and Shibboleth, and that gives you all sorts of links over 3 pages. Final thing I'd like to point out is that if you do create WAYFless links and add them to your portal, you have to bear in mind that some users might actually access a resource directly. They perhaps have it saved in their bookmarks or they access it through Google. In those cases, they will still have to go through the where are you from step.